them pass. Let these guys pass here. And we're live.
Central America, and whether it's in our hometowns all over Afghanistan.
I'm loving this very militant presence.
Government, whether it's strength or any other. So that's the big fight against this white supremacy system. We're building a movement right now. It's a right to refuse. We're trying to support veterans who are out there. If you have family members, if you have yourself being a veteran or are in the service, you have a right to refuse illegal, immoral orders. So say no and seek help from us with about face. And que viva la raza! Que viva!
Yankee, go home!
Our next speaker is Ernesto Anaya. He's a proud Chicano born into the Partido Nacional de la Raza Unida. He works tirelessly to build a political organization for la Raza de Aztlán. He is a proud father to a Chicano and a Chicano whose birthday we will celebrate tomorrow. Ernesto also does Aztlán Weekly for Radio La Raza on KPFK with his compa Matt. He was also one of the people kidnapped by the occupation forces from the Van Nuys HD
ABCC.
on July 8th. Let's give it up for Ernesto.
Hey, cousin. Hey, mom.
Chicano! Chicana! Chicanex! ¡Que viva la raza! ¡Que viva la raza! Compañeras y compañeros, I'm so honored to stand here with you today, compañeros. This is a historic day in our people's liberation struggle. In the war that we have fought for 500 years, this is a historic day. 55 years ago, as many of you already know, one of our compañeros was shot dead right here. Compañero Rubén Salazar, murdered, assassinated by the occupation. And down the street at the Parque, Lynn Ward and Angel Diaz were also murdered in cold blood as they defended the raza. And they gave the most ultimate sacrifice that any human being can give to their people, their lives. So today we not only commemorate those compañeros and the events of that day, but let's remember what the raza was shouting on that day itself. Que viva Aztlán libre! Que viva Aztlán libre! Because just like Palestine, just like Ireland or South Africa or all the places around the world, Vietnam at that time in history, that were fighting for their liberation, so are we.
That's right.
So are we. Every single issue that affects the raza, every single issue, from barrio warfare to police brutality to la migra, to having your papers, to living in poverty, whether you're on the res or the barrio, to being on the bottom of everything consistently, is due to colonization. It's due to the United States settler colonialism of Aztlán and all indigenous lands.
That's right.
So today, compas, today, let's not let them win. One of the main things that we must remember today, after we're starting off, but when this day is over, every single one of you should be joining an organization. That's how we fight back. That's how we fight back, compañeros. Let me tell you quickly, when we were abducted, three compañeros and a compañera, we were taken by the occupation because they are occupation forces. They're occupying our city. They're occupying Aztlán. That's the United States government. When they took us, the only reason we were able to come out is because all of you, everybody here, raised their voices and said, free the compañeros, and free all the raza that's being kidnapped. And ICE out of our city. Out! Fuera! Fuera! Es todo. Gracias.
Our next speaker is Derek Mejia. Derek Mejia is a proud member of Centro CSO and a longtime resident of Boyle Heights. He primarily organizes within Centro CSO's Police Accountability Committee, helping impacted families families in their struggle to demand justice for accountability for their loved ones. When he is not organizing with CSO, he can be found reading in a local coffee shop or just out and about in Boyle Heights. Let's give it up for Derek Mejia.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here representing the Police Accountability Committee for Central CSO. First, I'd like to start off by uplifting one of our demands today and say that I stand in unwavering solidarity with the Palestinian people. Currently facing genocide at the hands of the Israeli government and the Israeli occupation force, funded and aided by U.S. empire and U.S. interest. To uplift and stand with the Palestinian struggle for self-determination and national liberation and bring it to the streets of East LA and Boyle Heights. It's no secret that LAPD and LASD, as well as many other large law enforcement agencies across the country, maintain a reciprocal and symbiotic relationship with so-called Israeli security forces. Training alongside Training alongside these callous organizations, they bring these barbaric and inhumane tactics to oppress Black and Chicanos here in the U.S. and in Los Angeles. As we saw with the June uprisings against the ICE raids, LAPD and LASD have learned much from their Israeli counterparts.
That's right.
Not to mention collaborating with ICE. Shame! And other alphabet agencies, despite claiming that they are not doing so, but the footage speaks for itself. Much like the IOF, LAPD and LASD are instrumental in the United States attacks and continued suppression of the right towards self-determination of the oppressed Chicano people of Aztlan. LAPD and LASD's brutal treatment of journalists is just another one of their many crimes. It is these same tactics that LAPD uses to murder Black and Chicanos in Los Angeles. It is these same tactics that led to LAPD's murder of 26-year-old Jeremy Flores on July 14, 2025. Shame! According to the official LAPD narrative, Jeremy was killed by LAPD pigs who claim he was armed and who claim that he fired at officers despite preemptive aggression. Even the official LAPD OIS video released on Thursday and despite narrativization, shows clear abuses of power by LAPD. First and foremost, we demand justice for Jeremy Flores. And we demand the release of the unedited footage. Not the LAPD's version, but the people's version.
That's right.
That's right.
Say his name! Jeremy! Say his name! Jeremy! I'll end it there, but thanks for listening.
We're gonna have some spoken word by Matt Seville.
Get your art on.
This poem is called Occupied Los Angeles. It was published in Calo News. Here we go. In the weeks preceding the military occupation of the city of Los Angeles, on the streets, on the burning asphalt, an eagle slay a snake. During the military occupation of the city of Los Angeles, L3 flew over Waymo, set ablaze. Scooters and shit pavement fell from overpasses, leaf blowers repelled smoke back in the face of the age of the state. Sometimes they were driven away. And that is historic, and no one can take that away. During the military occupation of the city of Los Angeles, sometimes people ran patrols, sometimes they warned of raids, crowds gathered, oftentimes senoras led the way. Sometimes the age of the state, from horseback, beat people with batons. Sometimes they snatch people from their homes, their jobs. Sometimes they destroy families. Sometimes they terrorize graduation. Sometimes they gas children. They send the National Guard. They send the Marines. In times like these, sometimes we light a match. In times like these, sometimes we wave a flag. And these televised racists, these stay-at-home fascists use a rallying cry as evidence, a talking point, a political view. Sometimes the same people who had no issue with January 6th, Confederates, or the flag bearing the face of one man, but I'm through trying to make points, pointing out the hypocrisy of so-called conservative, because people least likely acknowledge our hypocrisy are hypocrites. But I will say this. This is my testimony, my sworn affidavit. I am a proud son of Los Angeles, and anywhere I stand is Mexican land. It's indigenous land. Que viva Mexico! Que viva Aztlán!
up, we have Cindy Nunez from United Families for Justice. Cindy is the Vice President of UFFJ, dedicated to justice and community empowerment. Also, the sister of Francisco Nunez, whose life was taken by police violence. She is an advocate and fighter against police brutality, committed to holding systems accountable and demanding change. Rooted in her identity as a Chicana, she stands proud in the struggle for dignity, truth, and justice for our people. Let's give it up to Cindy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Nunez. Once again, I stand before you today as a proud Chicana and as a family of Francisco Nunez. Francisco was kidnapped, tortured, and murdered by LASD Lancaster Station in March 2024. Francisco was a proud Chicano. He was proud of his culture, he was proud of his community, and he was proud of his roots. He carried that pride in the way he lived his life, in the love he gave to his friends, to his family, and in the strength he showed every day. When I think of the Chicano Moratorium in East LA, I think about how our people came together in 1970 to protest the Vietnam War, to demand justice, and to protect our raza. That struggle is not just history, it lives in us today. We are living it again 55 years later. Francisco's spirit reminds us of what the Chicano Moratorium stood for: courage, unity, and the fight for dignity. Just like our people then, my brother believed in protecting our community, in standing tall as Chicanos, and in never being ashamed of who we are. As his family, we carry that same fire. I speak for Francisco and for all of our raza who continues to face injustice. We must keep fighting, we must keep protecting one another, and we must keep celebrating our cultura, because that is how we honor those we lost and those who came before us. Que viva Francisco Núñez, que viva la raza, y que viva la lucha chicana.
Say his name!
Francisco.
Let me introduce to the next speaker is Melissa Miramontes from United Families for Justice. Melissa Miramontes is the sister of Hugo Cachua. Hugo is a father of 2 teenage boys, one who just graduated high school and the other starting high school. Hugo, a beloved family man, murdered May 30th, 2024 by an LAPD officer, Victor Corral, who was on medical leave over 1.5 years when he shot Hugo after a fight, who's claiming self-defense. His family continues to fight daily through the pain of not having Hugo, and knowing he was taken, they fight for accountability and stand with all impacted.
Justice for Hugo!
Justice.
Justice for who?